Welcome in. Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome to the Nick Club Wrestling Happy Hour. I am one half of your host and virtual bartender, Mr. Nick Teodoro. Joining me, as always, is my tag team partner in life, my wife, Miss Nicole. Nicole, what are you having this evening?
Oh, got a very strong Tito's and cranberry juice. Mr. Nick, you need to tell everyone what you're drinking and our free things for the show.
I'm having my J. Lore 7 Oaks Cabernet wine as usual. Well, Roman Reigns has given Cody Rhodes his word. Jey Uso is now the new Intercontinental Champion. And MVP has debuted in AEW. It's Friday, September 27th, 2024. This is the Nick Club Wrestling Happy Hour. And welcome back, everybody. Again, happy Friday. We made it to the weekend. Everybody's working for the weekend. Nikki's working especially hard for the weekend.
I know. I worked a 13-hour day. I worked from 7 in the morning till 11 at night, and then literally just stopped working. That's why we're a little late today, because Mama's got to put kibbies on the table for Jackson.
We all. And he's got a very, very hungry stomach. So we are excited. Let's get right to it, because we're running a little late, so let's get it to it. We started last week with a new segment, Nikki's kayfabe news, or non-kayfabe news, I should say. So we open with our new segment, Nikki's news. Nikki's news is back on the air. But as we break news on this show, we look forward to one of the biggest stories. We've talked about this for a couple weeks now, but next week is officially Nicktober. Maybe it's Nicktoberfest. It should be called probably Nicktoberfest.
Nicktoberfest? I'm okay with that.
But Nicktober is next week, where we not only are going to go over Bad Blood, but we honor the love of my life, my amour, my muse, my queen, Nikki's fun day, her special day, which gets a pay-per-view or PLE all to itself. Only the best for the best.
Yes, queen.
Simply the best.
Oh, God, it made my face hurt. Oh, after the last 2 days, I needed that laugh. Thank you, babe.
Get ready. Nicktober. You better bring it.
I'm crying. I'm sweating. We're in it, kids.
Yes. So, Nikki, that was part of Nikki's news, but let's get into it.
Ruined my segue. I was going to, speaking of crying and being sweaty, the Vince McMahon documentary dropped on Netflix on Wednesday. It is a 6-part, 6-hour, I almost said extravaganza, but I don't think that's the word for it. So apparently Vince McMahon is trying to distance himself from it. Like, originally this was completed in 2022. And then with all of the Janelle Grant stuff, they changed the ending and added all the accusations and all that stuff. So Vince is kind of like, stuff was taken out of context, and he put out this statement that you can go find yourself. I'm not reading Vince McMahon's words. But basically trying to put it, then he tried to like buy the documentary back, and Netflix is like, nah.
Paraphrasing his statement is basically like, I don't regret doing the documentary. I think it was, essentially the right thing to do, but, and everything's going to come to light. He's got a lot. Tony Schiavone came out and said this week, he was like, he's got so much money, he just needs to just go away at this point, if he doesn't go to jail. But just stop and just, at this point, you're not going to defend your legacy. It's tough it's extremely hard to come back from that. Anyway, go ahead.
And so basically Netflix is not obviously they aired it. Full disclosure, Nick and I have not watched it yet. Our plan is to watch all 6 episodes and then do a special edition of Happy Hour just to go over the documentary. So stay tuned for our thoughts and feelings on it. Again, I haven't watched it yet. Again, I shout out Cultaholic on this show constantly. They said for like wrestling fans, it's probably not deep enough. And then like people who haven't are not close to wrestling like we are, like we know the Vince McMahon lore. We watched all this stuff. Like we watched it live. That for casual people, they're gonna be like, whoa, like why did we not know this was happening with this guy? So I'm very interested to see it. I know Tom said it was a difficult watch. A lot of stuff didn't age well. A lot of stuff seemed kind of cringy. Again, that's one man's opinion. I say can't wait. It's not the right terms I want to use, but we're going to watch it. We're going to share all our thoughts and feelings on it. Definitely when we do that show, we want to hear all your thoughts.
Yeah, it'll probably, I think it might be a 2-parter, like the first 3 episodes and then the next 3. I haven't figure out because it depends on like how I think after we watch the first like you said like we'll figure out like how many notes
how we want to
we take away from it or what our takeaways are from that. But anyway, Nikki, moving on. Any last statements on the Vince McMahon or
no? We can again. I haven't watched it. You're gonna hear all my opinions on it when we do it and we do a show about it. Secondly, they announced Hot Mania. SummerSlam, again, now is going to be 2 nights, and it's going to be in our backyard. It's going to be at MetLife Stadium next year.
Very exciting. Nick Club is going to figure something out. I don't know what we're going to do.
Nick Club is going to club by himself.
I don't know. Maybe we can do a tailgate.
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know how, for Mania at first, I was like, oh, but that makes more sense. You get more people that the WrestleMania moment. Does SummerSlam really need to be 2 days? This past SummerSlam, was there someone on there? They were like, "Oh, wait, that's who?"
No.
So I'm like,
well, no, because I think was it the tag match that they took off? Was that the only one that they took off and they moved on to the SmackDown before?
Maybe I don't.
There was one match. Was it the tag titles that they won
with the DIY?
Yeah, someone won that one belt like right before.
Because people like mad because they were in Ohio and Johnny Gargano is like Mr. Ohio and.
I don't remember particularly that, but I mean it was basically like one extra match. I would think that could have gotten on. We talked about this before. We love the 5-match PLEs, 6 max. Like if you're gonna do Mania, maybe it's really tough to stretch 7. Maybe WrestleMania you could do that, but it's 2 nights anyway. So why would you want to do that? 5 and 6 is max.
It's early this year. I like it when it's closer, like middle, maybe like right after your birthday. Because I don't know, for me, it's usually like in the teens of August, but obviously they have to do it super early because of the football season. Obviously, if you're not a football person, the Jets and the Giants play there, the foosballs. I don't know. I don't know if I want. I like being on my couch. I like having our people here.
I don't know. What do you all think? Do you like it being a 1-night SummerSlam, or are you open to a 2-night extravaganza?
I just don't want to set a precedent. Like I don't that all their big ones are going to be 2 nights. Like Royal Rumble does not need to be 2 nights.
Yeah, same thing with Survivor Series.
Like,
could you see Survivor Series being 2 nights?
No,
that would be a nightmare.
Because then that would be like
Survivor Series would be us watching 2 nights of Survivor Series. I love Survivor Series, but I can't watch too much of that.
Because then you would do like a War Games match, a men's and a female to main, and then the same with the Royal Rumble. I don't want to see that. I like my women's opening and like my men's closing for Royal Rumble. Like I worry that it's gonna go so far the other way. Like 2 Manias, I like a lot of people get their moments. Again, I think Sasha and Bianca would have main evented if that was 1 night, and that match was amazing. I'm so glad that they got to main event night 1. So I'm fine with Mania being, again, come back in a year or less than that, 6 months now. Man.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't want to see it go 2 nights, even as selfishly as it is to maybe get a Saturday night where we can maybe go out and then experience it all. But again, who knows? I know you love watching from your home.
I'm at home. I want to be home with my babies, my 4 children, with a cocktail, watching it. So we don't have to worry about driving or whatever. We're safe. We're safe at our bar. We're safe at happy hour. Fair. And then lastly, I briefly touched on it last week, and Nick didn't believe me, and I had to go to the videotape. But they did announce, we talked about that SmackDown was going to 3 hours. And a little more information came out about it. Apparently, again, it starts in January, but it's like a 6-month trial of it. So thinking, and I'm not the first one to say this, but are they going long or an extra hour on SmackDown from Royal Rumble to Mania because The Rock is going to come and take an hour instead of cutting everyone else's segments? Dedicate an hour to The Rock bloodline, and then you have your 2-hour normal SmackDown.
Yeah,
because it was like hard because like The Rock comes out, he goes over, and how many matches got cut? Or you like, woman, you have literally a minute, do a roll up, bye. Or how many people didn't get entrances?
Yeah.
So give him an hour, and then have your normal SmackDown.
First hour will be The Rock and The Undertaker just coming out in entrances, and Roman Reigns. The first 15 minutes is just entrances of The Rock and Roman Reigns.
Yeah. So again, I said this last week that like I think in the Vince McMahon era going 3 hours, I think we'd all cry. I think I'm interested to see how Triple H is going to do it. Interested that like they're going to bring maybe people up from NXT, maybe do something better with Baron Corbin and like all those people that I said last week. That people get more opportunities. Yeah,
it could very well. I mean, we've said that for a while, but like even with the split roster, it doesn't mean that that's the case. It also means guys like Giovanni Vinci get on the brand.
Oh, did you hear that drama?
Yeah, we could get to that a little later. Okay. Just the Vinci, well, because it could go into our SmackDown, little segments, but
I don't know. That's my non-kayfabe news. If something we're not talking about, put it down in the comments down below.
Let's wrap it up. Nikki's non-kayfabe.
That music makes me so happy. Like when I said this to Nick last weekend, or Friday morning, that I wanted to do the news segment, and I wanted to like a dee. And so him finding it this morning made me really happy.
So if you like the Nikki News segment, hit the like button for Nikki's News. So from Nikki's News, we take it to Monday Night Raw, where we open. We like to always open with the ladies. Where the big announcement for the Liv Morgan... We know the Judgment Day is always apparent. Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley match at Bad Blood is coming. We know Dom Mysterio is going to be there. And now we know where Dom Mysterio is going to be during the match. So a little twist on a more modern hit, because we all know where Dom's ending up. I wasn't going to make everyone listen to more than 10 seconds of that song, but you had to figure.
I didn't know. So I think I said before that I wasn't listening to any of Nick's music because I wanted to feel it and react to it with all of you. And oh boy, babes.
It was a little trap mix. Hey, listen, that got like 35 million views on YouTube, so people must like it.
Oh, the baby. I was like, your video? What?
No, not mine. I wish.
I was like, did you add something?
I think there'd be a few more people in this live stream if that was the case. But yes, we get to Monday Night Raw, where Dom Mysterio is going to be in a shark cage at Bad Blood. Nikki, take us out there. How did we get there?
I'll tell you. Well, first, again, I say it every week. I've been loving these opening shots that someone comes in and they show you walk to the ring. And him showing up in a lowrider. Wade goes bananas. And of course he comes in and makes it, I don't know.
Lowride.
Yeah.
Shock.
Is that what you call it when it bounces? I thought there was like a technical term for it.
Bouncing?
I was going to say like hydraulic, but I feel like that's like the nerd. Not the cool.
Yeah, no, I think it is. It's hydraulic, yeah.
Anywho, he rolls up like his father, Eddie Guerrero. And then him and Liv walk to the ring, and then she cuts her normal, like, I took everything away from Rhea. I have her belt, mine. The Judgment Day, mine. And then I love, she goes, this gorgeous. And then he immediately goes like he does that stupid pose he does. And he's like, oh, my gorgeous, blah, 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 the most gorgeous man in the whole entire world. And he does the mustache thing, and I was like,
Wait, what did we call mustachio aficionado? No, mustachio.
Oh no, Wade's so good.
Damn it! Now
I was a little worried because how Corey played up the Dom Liv thing was so good, but like Wade is just on that level with him. Like when he called him Mr. Lover during the other pay-per-view. So then she was like, "Oh, this gorgeous man, blah blah blah." And then Rhea interrupts, and she's like, "Liv, honey, you need to shut up." And she's like, well, now I know you're not going to, attack me from behind. So I can see you. You don't have to run. I know you're not going to come out from behind. Like, you can take it easy. I'm not going to hit you. And then the crowd starts going crazy, like, mommy. And I love this. No, I lost it.
Well, she comes out. Oh, go on.
Because the improv. Because they start chanting, and she was like, "Oh, Liv, do you hear that?" And then she goes to the crowd, "Shut up." So I love their improv. I don't know why that word escaped my brain, but like them playing to the crowd. And I think the two of them have gotten so much better on the mic to read the room, read the crowd, read each other, and get the reaction. Because of course, when she yells, "Shut up," they all boo. Right?
Yeah. Well. Liv's come to her own as a heel the last like three months, more so. But Rhea has steadily been just the tops, I think, with everything. And now, like next to probably Becky, I would say all around talker, performer. In terms of female, I'd probably put her there. Yeah, because I like with all the women like Bianca and everything, I'd probably put her above Bianca. Like Bianca's not talking me into the match.
Yeah.
So with everyone active. Probably her and Becky.
Yeah, I think. I just love. I wanted to just shout that out. I put that in my notes. Like they've gotten so good. But basically, Rhea goes, actually, like I have something to tell you, and then Dom gets in between him or puts himself in between Liv and Rhea, and she's like, oh, look like you've grown some cojones, and he's like, get out of my face before I make you get out of my face. And then Liv was like, oh, are you here to tell me that you're not cleared for bad blood? And then blah 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 blah. She had that good line, and I need to. And then basically, Liv talking to Rhea says, "I'm not going to beat you because I'm stronger than you. I'm not going to beat you." She goes stronger because I'm bigger than you. Then I'm stronger than you. I'm going to beat you because I'm smarter than you. And then she's like, "I've been beating you," and she points to her head, "in here for months." And I really like that line. That she's like,
yeah, that's the only way
she's kind of got. And then basically, what?
Yeah, no, I didn't say that. Just fainting ghost people talking to you. No, yeah, she's basically saying that she's had a mental edge on her for a while now, and that's the only way. I mean, but that's the idea behind a heel in general and a smaller person in general. Like, unless you're a wrestler that's fast and quick and can do all that, like then. You need to use your cunning ability to win.
She also, before she said the bigger, stronger thing, she was like, maybe Dom would have stayed with you if you cared about him half as much as you care about Damian. So I feel like she just says those things like, oh, Dom would have stayed with you if you did this, or he left because of that. And just more of the digging and more like, oh, I'm in your head, which I really liked. And then Rhea was basically like, oh, I have a message for both of you. Since Dom wants to stick his nose in the Women's World Heavyweight Championship business, and you're the only reason why Liv won, you're the only reason why Liv retained. I almost called him Alexander Pierce. Adam Pierce has decided something. Dom, at Bad Blood, you're going to be exactly where you deserve to be, behind bars. In our match, you'll be, and she like does this like you'll be hanging in a shark cage.
So, with that announcement being made, my question becomes, because this always happens, and we'll probably try and include it next week in Nicktoberfest. Yes, Nicktoberfest, that's what we're calling it now. But you know it's going to happen So my question is, how does Dom get involved in the match battle? And we'll probably rehash this next week, but he's not staying in that cage. Can't keep him caged up. So how do you see him? Is it JD and Carlito helping him out of there? Is it some nefarious tactic? I don't know. Or does he just kind of hang above the ring and because we were watching the other night with Paul Bearer and it was Mankind, Undertaker, and Paul Bearer was in the Shark Tank, and I don't think Paul Bearer ever got out. And at the end, if I recall correctly, I have sleep, but if I recall correctly, then Undertaker just beats up Paul Heyman. Because not Paul Heyman, sorry. Oh my God. Paul Bearer. Gosh, too many Pauls. So I don't know. There is a shot I could see a booking where literally Rhea beats Liv. They finally, it's one-on-one. Maybe a couple people interfere, but Dom still doesn't get out, and then she gets her one-on-one with Dom. With Dom at the end. Because again, I don't know. We want to see a match, but I don't know that that's going to happen. That her doing the riptide on Dom is the payoff. Yeah, I think.
Well, Donna said that in interviews that they would love to do it, but he doesn't think WWE would ever do it.
Yeah, it's a very, I don't want to say slippery slope, kind of, I guess slippery slope. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. What do you think? Do you just think some?
Oh, of course. They're the schmarmy chicken shit heels. Carlito and JD McDonough are going to come out. There's no way. I think it's going to be the thing that was it Enzo or was it with AOP when Paul Ellering was in the thing that they throw up the keys.
Oh yeah.
And then there's something that's the key, or he has the keys and he drops the keys and Rhea gets them and puts it in her bra or something so he doesn't get out. So she actually has the one-on-one.
Yeah, that would...
there's going to be some shenanigans. Huh? The only thing I said to you, I was interested because they have the Hell in a Cell hanging, and now they're gonna have a Shark Tank hanging. Or do you think he'll won't be over the ring?
What if it's inside? It's inside the cell. It's an hanging
extra thing, maybe. That sounds dangerous. But wasn't it one of the matches that or one of the cages they weren't over the ring? They were on the side.
I mean, you could probably put it off to the side. I don't know. What do you all think as people are chiming in? How would you book this match? What do you want to see at Bad Blood with Dom in the Shark Tank and Rhea facing Liv? Is there going to be some craziness? Does Dom get out of the tank, or does he stay in Shark Cage, not tank? Does he stay in the cage and Rhea gets her hands on him at the end?
Can I quickly say one more thing about this segment before we move on? Because I know you showed me the picture of this earlier, so I want to make sure we show it. So after Rhea says that AP said that they'll have him in a Shark Tank, she's like, "Well, I changed my mind." And then Liv was on what? And it was basically I take it back what I said before, and then does this beautiful headbutt.
Yeah.
And Liv sells it amazingly. She falls into Dom, and she's and then Rhea does her little wavy thing, and then she does now what she's been doing the suck it thing. Yeah. And then walks off.
I feel a lot of people are doing that though recently. I think I saw somebody else do it.
I think there was a ban on it for a while, and I think now that one of the inventors of it.
Yeah, and it's a Netflix era. It's no more PG booking or PG TV in general. So yeah, it was definitely a very action-packed opening to Raw. So we move into our mid-card of Raw, and we're gonna kind of go because this has been weeks now of just absolute destruction. Bronson Reed and Braun Strowman, because that was actually in the opening segment. They actually cut off the car.
Yeah.
They have been brawling back and forth for the last couple of weeks to a month, maybe more. Ultimately, we were supposed to be a match between Miz and Bronson Reed that gets cut off by Braun Strowman, and these two just again continue just to battle throughout the night, throughout the backstage area, the whole thing. So this is leading towards Monday nights being a last monster standing match. So just out of this, my question is again, like they've broken down walls. They've like literally destroyed. They've thrown people at each other. Like every security guard's getting beat up. So like, I guess just how does this battle get more destructive? Like you've been through walls. They've broken cars. He's done the tsunami on cars. Like I don't know. Like to blow off this feud, which is presumably this is what this is, right? It's the last monster standing. How do you get more destructive than a tsunami on the car?
Yeah, that's what I think. This is gonna be banana pants.
Is it maybe main event?
I don't know. Maybe like the top of the night. Do you open with it?
No, I think it's main event for this reason. How many times?
I don't. Oh, destroy the ring spot.
Yeah, the superplex spot with the Big Show Lesnar spot.
Tease. But I'm like, how many times have we seen that spot? That doesn't feel special anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. Like what do you all think? Like, how do you make this have a blow? Because they're not doing Hell in a Cell or a steel cage or anything like that now. It's last man standing, last monster, whatever they're calling it, last monster standing. Like I don't know how you make this. Like Braun Strowman got the tsunami on the car. Like that should have put him out for a while. It put him out for like a half a week, and then he came back. So like, it's got to be something bigger.
And then won the triple threat to be in the fatal 4-way for the IC belt.
Yeah, exactly. So who's to say? So we'll see where this goes Monday night. If this is actually the headliner for Monday night, I'm not certain. I mean, could very well be. We've seen a lot with Gunther, Sammy. So maybe I don't know, but I think this is probably gonna go main. Which go ahead. Oh, I thought you were gonna make a comment.
No, I have my notes, but I'll just wanted to shout out Joe Tessitore in this segment, if I can quickly.
Oh yeah.
Unless you wanted to
no.
It. When they do, because Bronson throws the two guys on top of each other and does the tsunami, and then Braun does the double choke slam, and basically Wade screams tsunami, and then he yells for the double choke slam, but his voice cracks when he says it, and it just sounds like because everyone's like, oh, was like monotone or not, like it just sounded like his voice cracking sounded like he's like, oh my, like so like
he's getting into it,
which I really liked. And the other part is once they did because it was just the four of them that went into 4 security guards, the double, and then Moore came in and Tessitore was like, oh, it's like ants trying to fight elephants, which I thought was funny.
No, he's got like he's got a way with words because again, you don't become a play-by-play broadcaster without being eloquent. So he's done a really good job of that, and I like Tessitore. I'm happy with his development so far and what he's put on tape.
Yeah, it's been a month.
Yeah, like
you do your job once a week for a month. Again, you're not going to be like he's not going to be like the Michael Coles of the of the world or JR or Excalibur, but I think it's the best rando person that they've brought in by far.
Oh yeah, in terms of sports crossover, yeah, definitely. So from what we think, or what I think at least, could be the Raw main event for this upcoming Monday to what was the Raw main event for this past Monday, where we crowned a new Intercontinental Champion for the first time in his career in his 11 years?
14 years. This is his first singles.
14-year career. Main event. Jey Uso wins in the main event and claims his first singles gold. Let's take you back real quickly and recap it. So, Nikki, let's get to it. The main event, Braun Breaker main event, Jey Uso, where we crown a new Intercontinental Champion. He's climbed the mountain. Nikki?
So I know I tend to go word for beat for this match, so I'm going to try to just get to the little nuggets. Of course, it starts off Jey going hot, commercial break. Then, Braun gets his big heel beat down. I love him. The way I think this is what they were leaning into is why he lost, because he was doing a lot of jaw jacking, a lot of playing up to the crowd. He does the little yeets. He did the 5 push-ups.
Yeah.
And I feel like he definitely, I will get to whatever your thing later, but it's just like, he was just healing it up so much. And I think they kept saying his arrogance. I think that's what led to the outcome of this match.
So they're playing it up like he's a rookie, like he's a dumb rookie, and that's what's costing him his matches. Because I guess that was kind of the idea that Sammy planted during their feud the last couple of months too.
But he did this, like, I don't know, Joe Tessitore didn't call it anything. But when Breakker had Jey up, and he kind of did like the spinning kind of like gut, not necessarily gut buster, but like knees to the stomach thing. He like twisted him and pulled him down, and I don't know. I call
gut buster.
Is that I
gut buster? Yes. Fireman carry into a thing, like, because what's his name? Roddy does kind of like a version of it.
Yeah, because he does it to the back, not the stomach.
Yeah, but it's and when you do
so
when you do to the back, it's your back breaker. When you just
I'm gonna and then of course Jey kicks out of that. Jey does this beautiful, like, the pop-up Samoan drop, which I don't know, I feel like probably more Samoans do it, but I just feel like it looked so good when Jey did it this go around. Give that a shout out. And then
wait, hold on. That deserves a sound effect because you hate his spear. So let's give him a little. Getting credit with Nikki.
I've mentioned that several. We'll get there, kids. I like Jey Uso. I like him a lot. His super kicks are beautiful. I love his charisma. I just think he has the shittiest fucking little spears, and we will get there, children.
Well, there's a lot of spears in this match.
I do, and then I just like. It's going to sound like I don't like Jey in my critique of this match, and I very much do. I want him and Rhea to both be champions and hold hands and skip down the ramp together. But his spear is dog shit. But anywhoosies, I digress. So he kicks out of the Samoan drop, and then Breakker gets him up for the beautiful, beautiful Frankensteiner. Of course, then Jey kicks out. And shout out to Wade, because I love what he said. He's like, Breakker can do things your favorite heavyweight can do while simultaneously doing things your favorite cruiserweight can. And I was like, that's such a good, like, because again, a lot of when he was doing the original, the beginning of the match, when he was like, it was like turnbuckle, power slam, throw him into another turnbuckle, German suplex. Like, it was just like throwing him, power move, and then he does these flying moves and his beautiful Frankensteiner that everyone kicks out of.
No, he's athletically, he's an athletic freak. So he's able to do that. Now, the thing that always is usually the struggle for some of these guys is the character development. And he's got the Scott Steiner attitude so down, like the big pop-up bump, like it worked so well for him.
Yeah. And then he kicks out, there's more strike exchange, super kicks exchange. He does his flying clothesline, then the power slam. And then the ref is counting 1, 2, and at 2, like, Braun puts his arm up like he won the thing, and then Jey kicks out. So they're like, oh, the arrogance of the thinking that you had it won and you didn't, because you lifted your arm. That gave Jey more space to kick out. Then he goes to do his running thing. So after Jey kicks out, he kicks Jey outside the ring, and he gets out and to do the running spear, and he runs into the super kick. Right? He hits Jey with the spear outside, then puts him in the ring. He goes to do his running when he can run 25 miles an hour and runs, and then Jey hits what they call a spear that looks like absolute dog shit. You know how like there's a couple wrestlers that do it when they do the running thing and they jump like their shoulders into the rope and then like jump out. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
That's what it looked like. He just kind of went like and just kind of put like his arms out. There was no like.
It was like a pounce.
No, that's generous. Anyway, shitty spear, Uso splash, Breaker kicks out at 2.9999999, and they go to everyone freaking out again. Then they're back outside. He goes back to do a spear. Or am I messing that up? Anyway, no, he hits the first running around spear, gets into the ring, he kicks out at 2.999 whatever. Then he goes to do another spear. That's when he runs into the super kick. Then Jey does another shitty little spear into the barricade. Gets him into
that doesn't look that bad. That doesn't look bad at all.
His legs look dumb.
Because he's flailing, because he's a bigger guy.
It looks so
He's
bad.
putting all of his effort into it. It's like that kid from Little Giants making the tackle. You know what I'm talking about? Am I dating myself with that movie? He's like,
no,
don't
sorry,
make
what about
fun of
him?
me. Remember Little Giants kid? He was like, we're using this for intimidation. Acid ingestion. I'll get a drop of it for this show. I need to really write these down.
He's like, I use these for acid indigestion. And he's like, intimidation.
Yeah, I need to get a drop of that. So anyway,
spear through the thing. He puts him into the ring. Hits him with another shitty spear. Hits him with the Uso splash. 1, 2, 3. And then Tessator goes, go ahead and yeet. He did it. I don't know. His spears are so bad. And it's just like, Braun Breaker's whose thing is...
You're basing this all off of his spear. I feel like your judgment is all off his spear.
I said it was going to sound like I'm judging Jey, and I really like Jey. I do... If it was him taking the belt, I don't want to say anybody.
Is Nikki judging Jey just based off the spear? Put in the comments below.
I probably am. I don't know. It's hard because I love him. And I like that he's finally made it, gets the IC belt. I don't necessarily like it. I don't love that it's making, to me, Braun look stupid.
So, okay. So then that, you said, where does Braun Breaker go from this loss?
Thanks, Steven!
It's fine. He's not watching. I think he is. So, listen, Uncle Howdy watches. So he might spread the word to him. So, where does Braun Breaker go from this loss?
I don't know. I think it's... I don't want him to be this transitional champion. That it was just taking...
Does he challenge him back? Does he challenge him back and
when?
I don't know, whenever they... Not Bad Blood, but like...
The
whatever
Saudi,
that... Yeah, maybe, and then
show?
just win it back. I don't know. It'd be interesting. Like, because they did... Remember... I know, not a big... But like, Brock Lesnar, they did the Lesnar Goldberg thing where like, it's like a quick... Like, it's a fluke type deal. Like, you could play that off and give him... I just feel like... So, and this is the other... And this is kind of derivative of that. Is like this win, is this a forced win to keep Jey's momentum? Like, is he going towards the Bloodline War Games feud, or is this like because we probably should have put the world title on him when he was facing Priest, and he still has like some momentum, so let's not completely lose all of this while he's still a singles star, right? And can still be a single star. Like, it's like the LA Knight thing. Like we were saying about it 6 months ago when we first started the show, like we wish the LA Knight would be the one to maybe win the Rumble or like challenge for a world title at WrestleMania or SummerSlam, and they didn't do either of those, and they gave him the mid card. And it's like, it feels like a consolation prize of sorts to keep his momentum.
I don't know. I have theories, and I don't know if you want to wait till we get to SmackDown to talk about the Cody Roman video, because now I have some feelings about Jey now, and maybe this. Why he has this IC
Yes,
belt.
save it. We'll save it, and we'll
drop a little pin in this pickle, and we'll bring it back.
Yeah. So again, let us know in the chat. Was this the right decision to have Jey Uso win over Braun Breaker? Did you like that? You know, how about a yeet? If you did, and a neat. Is it neat?
I don't know. He's like, neat. Go ahead and yeet. He did it. Tessator, I love your face.
But. Yeah, let us know in the chat if you think this was a good idea, good booking, bad booking, rushed.
Bad blooding.
But yeah, overall, an okay Raw. I think we're kind of, again, in the lull. Monday is going to be very exciting.
Are you saying we are going into a lull into Nicktober?
No. Like this past Monday was the lull until because now it's the go home show for Bad Blood and Nicktoberfest. That I know that they're going to be booking hardcore because they know what's on the line and they don't want to disappoint.
I'll save my feelings about it for next week, but I'm worried about mainsies because what should be main sounds like it's not going to be main, and I'm not happy about it. But I'll save that till next week.
Fair enough.
Let's cross that line, babe.
Let's cross that line when we come to it.
No,
well,
you're ruining all my segues. Ruin all my segues.
Well, all right. Well, give me the segue again.
No, it's like crossing the line, crossing the divide. We're going to talk about AEW now.
Oh, well, yeah. So now we're crossing over. Good job. Even though
Ruined.
I did it badly. Bad segue by me. Good segue by Nicole. We'll get it right one of these days. But we move on to AEW where Hook has officially retired the FTW Championship. Nikki, your thoughts?
Girl, I do have some thoughts. I was just watching this, this when you were half asleep and I was yelling about it.
I don't know. I'm a deep sleeper apparently.
You are. So again, it was Hook. The original was Hook versus Roddy. You know, I love my Roddy Strong. Fun little match. Obviously, Roddy taps out to Red Rum. After the match, the Taven and Bennett help Roddy up. And then Roddy goes to Hook to shake his hand. And then they have to Hook has to look around the crowd should I shake his hand? And then goes and shakes Roddy's hand, and then Roddy pulls him into a hug. And I'm well, that seems weird. Roddy's a heel. And for him to then not do you fake the handshake and then you pull him in and then you ball beat him up, and that's classic trope. That didn't happen. And then he goes out to the ring and he goes in front of the announce desk, and now he has an interview with Tony Schiavone. And then basically he thanks the crowd, thanks the fans, and says he's retiring the FTW Championship. Hands it to Taz's father, who obviously started that belt at ECW. Taz is crying. They hug. Hook walks back up the ramp and pose. He puts his arm up and poses. When usually after the end, Hook was always that aloof and whatever. And usually when he would, after the match, he would just go up and walk straight back, never acknowledging anybody. So Hook AEW or Hook NXT bound? Question mark?
So that's the question.
Very much like a girl bye-bye.
Yeah, that's the question. Is this Hook's farewell to AEW?
They were in New York.
Maybe FTW's farewell to wrestling title. Farewell to AEW wrestling. But yeah, is the last that we see in Hook? We've talked about this for a couple months now. There was rumors that he's going over to the WWE, and maybe could be NXT bound. And we've talked. He could be a big star in WWE. If built up the right way, I think WWE does well with those guys who don't really. I don't want to say don't talk well, but they can teach them to talk. I think you can.
It's not like Taz doesn't have charisma. It's Hook is good looking. He's young. I think given, because again, I know we talked about this. I don't know who's running classes, and there's always the rumor that Regal was doing classes and no one was showing up, or Dustin was doing classes and no one was showing up. So when you make it mandatory, maybe we'll teach you how to talk, or maybe he was going to those. I don't know. All of a sudden he just went from eating bags of chips to actually talking. Don't necessarily. I feel killing that kind of bravado of him just coming out not talking, just eating the bag of chips. Him and Danhausen was so fun.
Yeah, he was a fighter. He was a prize fighter. That was the idea. Because he wears the boxing trunks too.
Yeah, I want that in NXT.
So I guess my question then is, was this a failed experiment, the FTW belt in AEW?
I don't know. I think it kind of went off the rails. I get why they first brought it, when it was Team Taz and they had it on Ricky Starks, and then was it on Powerhouse Hobbs or just Ricky? Or did Rick? No, because then Hook took it from Ricky, and that was kind of the. But I think it served a purpose, and I think it jumped the shark when you fucking put it on Jericho.
I just think I think it jumped the shark when if you put it on your website and acknowledge a champion when you said it's, and then you physically said, especially in this episode, that it wasn't acknowledged as a legitimate championship, that's where you lose me. It's like, if you don't acknowledge him, like put him on your roster page as just Hook, and he's got the belt, and that's what it is. He just defends it as like a prize thing, just like, you know, Punk and Drew are fighting over a bracelet, or were fighting over a bracelet. Like,
I think it's the fan in Tony Khan that's like, it worked in ECW when, God, correct me if I'm wrong, wasn't it Shane Douglas that was ducking Taz?
It's just so long ago, I forgot that one. I don't know.
Whoever the ECW champion was ducking Taz, and then Taz, was there Sabu? Was that when he went into this thing with Sabu? Or I thought Dean, whatever. That he was getting ducked by the ECW championship, and he made this championship because he should have been the champion, and blah, 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 blah. Again, someone will, if Ed was here, I'm sure he'd correct me down below. I know it's working. I think it was I don't want to say cute. I think it was working to a point, and I get the homage to it, but I think maybe it went a little too.
So how would you have gotten rid of it too, or would you have not done it, or how would you have just left it with like Taz's group?
I think it should have been Taz. I think it should have just been Hook's thing. Again, losing it to Jericho, it's not great. And then he did 4 pay-per-views in a row with Jericho, and it's just like, again, maybe you can Hook go to NXT. I want to see him with some fresh people. Again, I really like that match with Roddy, because I feel like that maybe probably was one of his. I know I think I'm jumping ahead of you, but I think that's one of his best matches.
Yeah, well, actually,
because again, it was just like match with Jericho, Shibata and Hook versus Jericho and blah blah blah. It's just like, I'm ready for something new, and then I don't know necessarily where this leaves Shibata, but I'm ready for Hook to move on.
Yeah. I'm excited to see. Yeah, now at this point, now I kind of be a little like with all the hoopla that they just gave him. Like, unless you're gonna give him a big time push in AEW, like, then that should be his. That should probably be his farewell match, if that's the case. Unless you're gonna give him again a mega push to main event level. Then he's done. You can't do something like that.
Put the North American belt on him.
Oh, you're putting him into.
I'm putting him in NXT. I think, well, not to book next week's NXT, but I think the Don is taking that belt off Oba, and Oba's going to Maine.
Be interesting. We shall see. We shall see on NXT. But to our mid card, which was actually the opening match that I know everyone was looking forward to.
Nick's calling it.
I'm calling it the mid card. I know I'm going to get a lot of crap on this. Bryan Danielson, Nigel McGuinness, the match that apparently everyone wanted to see. I don't know.
Why are you shitting on this so hard?
I don't know.
And I said, see, because you pretty much fell asleep all through Dynamite this week, but I love this, and I think it was a love letter to the kids that stuck it out or caught up and loved the early mid aughts of late aughts, just Ring of Honor before it was like the cool thing. I loved it. I think they said JR on commentary was a beautiful touch. I
thank you for bringing that up, because I remember saying that. I was like, they're so nice. Like the little bit that they do bring him out. Like, I know he's rusty because he's getting up there, but like, WJR. But like, yes, like this is the type of match. If you have an old school or a big time main event, you want to bring in JR as like WWE used to do.
Used to bring him
2000,
out.
Yeah. That's exactly.
Also, I think it's because before JR got super sick, like he was doing commentary with Nigel, and Nigel would fuck with him so hard on commentary, and it's just like their bands together was so fun to listen to, and just seeing him to come out, I feel like it was more maybe for Nigel for him to come out, and I loved it. Again, this is like the catch can, and it's just like if you saw their matches and knew it was all about the wrist control and locks and the grapple and who can take who down and doing this, like I think it was just like a beautiful love letter to their rivalry, their history, their story. Again, Nigel has not had a singles match in 13 years.
Yeah, no, again,
I know you're like, oh, I'm rushing through your stuff, but this is maybe you shouldn't give me your notes every week.
That's why I don't give you my notes. But like, again, it was a good match. Again, for old school wrestling fans, yes, there was a lot of sequencing. I guess chain wrestling is maybe the term. Like you said, the catch cam, whatever you call it. But like a lot of nice sequences. I enjoyed it, but I just feel bad because like here's a guy in Nigel McGuinness that like comes out of retirement and everyone's making such a big deal out of this. But like I know everyone loves him. Like I didn't watch. Admittedly, I didn't watch him.
We have very different relationships with Nigel McGuinness.
But here's my thing. If he's such, you want to book him as coming out of retirement is such a huge deal, then now he's got two, like the battle royal he participated in. Now he's lost this match. Like if this was a non-title match, which it was, right? I see nothing wrong with an injured Bryan Danielson getting beaten by Nigel McGuinness returning and stretching it out. Like Steven said it here, his last match, he wants Bryan Danielson with Nigel again. Like, hey, like I think McGuinness should have gone over. To some extent.
I think because I don't think Bryan's not going to be booked to lose until he loses the belt. And I think they're rushing. I think there's a very high chance that Bryan is going to drop this belt to Mox in 2 weeks. I think he's got to go get surgery, and I think they're kind of rushing through this final tour. And I think if this is the last time we see Bryan for a little bit, or Bryan at this level for a little bit, then I'm okay with him and Nigel. And I not because I know Nigel McGuinness, but I don't think it's about the
friends.
In my brain we are. I don't think this was obviously not about a win-loss record. He got to be in a match at Wembley, bucket list. He did get to have that match with Bryan. And I don't know, they kind of alluded to it. Again, we didn't talk about the match beat for beat. But when Bryan puts him in the last label lock, and you don't know, like, JR and Taz was like, oh, did he say thank you? Or to me, it kind of sounded like a fuck you, thank you. Like, sometimes when you say, like, you mouth olive juice, it sounds like I love you. So, like, I don't know if it's like a fuck you, thank you, or like both. Like, thank you for doing this. Like, I feel like it's just like he wanted to have that match. He wanted to have that match with Bryan because obviously, they're friends like in real life. So having that match at like a bigger, obviously not like, I almost said PLE, not at a pay-per-view, but like at a bigger event. He did get to have his match at Wembley. I think it's just like a nice, like, I didn't know if I can do it and I did it and thank you for doing this with me. I don't think he needed to win. I don't think this was a win situation. It's like, let's just put on a fun old school match together.
I guess so. I just think the guy, you want to make it special, give the guy a win and build it out another X amount of months.
I don't think with him being the champion and having the stipulation of like losing, I don't necessarily losing the belt, I just don't think it'd be inappropriate for him to lose to Nigel at this stage.
He's injured. He's been beaten down. He was strangled. He was damn near murdered by his best friend, Jon Moxley. And now you're not 100%. You should be able to lose to a guy who's supposed to be a Hall of Fame wrestler, even coming back.
But he looked great, though.
Like, he did, but that's
he looks hotter now than he did it on ROH. Glow up, baby.
I don't know. It's tough to get. I just think he deserves. But agree to disagree.
We always do, but hey.
So we move on to what was our main event of Dynamite, or at least our biggest takeaway of Dynamite. At least my biggest. I don't know.
You're a big thing because I know we always try to talk about title changes, big things happening, and big debuts, baby.
Exactly. So we saw the debut of M to the VP. That's what he said. Because I don't know. I'm assuming he owns the rights to it.
Yes.
But like he said, it's so weird. So MVP debuts in AEW. Nikki.
Well, he tried to be. Oh, go ahead.
No. Just the rumors have been swirling for a while, and now he's here. What are your thoughts
He tried to be gangster about it because he was like, allow me to reintroduce myself and how it's the Jay-Z song. And when he was, oh, so I think he tried to flow it and it didn't quite flow, but he tried. So I can't say I was the hugest, again, I wasn't really watching when MVP was actually wrestling. I've gone back and watched stuff, him and his Matt Hardy feud and all that stuff.
It was not that good. From what I remember, it was not that good.
I don't know. I wasn't watching when he was like wrestling.
He did his finisher was the overdrive, which I always never really got behind as a finishing move because it was like a weird kick. It was like Kofi Kingston did it, and it was like a Kofi Kingston like kind of just like random move. I think he would just throw into a set.
So, but obviously he wrestled for whatever, and then he moved to being a manager. He was, with Lashley, the Hurt Business, which I think could have been a big thing, and it just wasn't. I
thought it was big in WWE.
I think it could have been better.
I mean, yeah, it could. Everything could have been better, but that was like, that group was for that. Was that over during the pandemic? It was like right around.
That was like coming back from.
Yeah, but they were so, that group was very over. Like, and I'm still shocked like this day at how over Lashley is.
They didn't really win anything though. Like I think was when Lashley had the belt, but it's just like Seti and Shelton weren't doing anything. So he's still not doing anything. Poor kid in NXT getting called uncle.
Honestly, I would. I mean, I know he's under contract, but like if I were Tony, like I wouldn't want Shelton. I would want him.
Well, again, so basically, let's go back to the segment. So, firstly, Prince Nana comes out. He's supposed to give an update on Swerve, and with Tony Schiavone. So he comes out, and of course, he has his cup of coffee that he throws into the crowd, and he's doing, his song and dance. And then he's like, "Oh, is it so great to be in whose house?" And I was like, "Swerve's house." So he's like getting the crowd and sort of gives like an update that he's like trying to come back as quick as he can, basically. And then MVP comes out and basically like ran down Nana, saying that like you only care. It's like he lost because it's not because he's not good. It's like he didn't have the right manager. He's like, you're out here just dancing and trying to sling coffee. And then thinking about it, because I do love Swerve, and Swerve was being so heel for a while. And it's just then your manager, again, is the dancing guy that throws coffee in the crowd.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know, because again, like, MVP is a great talker, and he should be with someone that can't talk. Again, that's why they kind of put him with Almost, back in WWE. I don't think Swerve needs a manager as a mouthpiece.
Right.
So maybe if MVP can sort of be like the wise man, sort of role, not necessarily being his mouthpiece, but being that like advocate role more than the.
Well, it's what Mogul MC is out there. Mogul MC should have been like it should have been his heel group of like guys like cronies, henchmen, whatever, that were gonna beat up everybody and help him like as if he was a heel world champion, like remain world champion, and then like he was face most of the time, so like it was kind of a weird thing. So they broke up Gates of Agony, which I still never understood why Gates of Agony was with them. But regardless, it was just kind of like he was like a tweener champion, and then he was so over. They're like, all right, the only thing we can do is just like roll with you as a face. So my question with MVP debuting, I want to know, first off, like he's a great talker, but does MVP wrestle in AEW? Like everyone seems to
was doing stem cell treatments, and he said he did want to have one more go around.
So because and this is really, I think, important, because if he's viewed as a whether even a part-time or he's probably not gonna be full-time, but like talent for the company, then he's part of this group as a wrestler advocate, not the mouthpiece, right? So if he's forming a group, presumably, that because he's giving his business card out, that he would be the mouthpiece for multiple people. So, but if he's a wrestler, then maybe the group is a little bit more tight. You know what I mean? So it begs the question then, if he's a wrestler or if he's not a wrestler, is he forming what was formerly known as the Hurt Business, but now I think they trademarked the Hurt Syndicate. So who joins the Hurt Syndicate in AEW?
Now I'm thinking about it, because the rumor is that Bobby and Sheldon Shelton.
Shelton.
Jesus. Benjamin.
No, Shelton is the one on before Dynamite.
Big, huge orange Cassidy fan, which I am wearing my best friend shirt. Wouldn't it be crazy pants if I'm just off the fly here, you saying that? Because basically MVP said to Nana, like, if he wants to get some serious business, here's my card. Wouldn't it be crazy if Bobby Lashley is Swerve's like heavy?
Yeah, it'd be interesting. I don't know. I think Lashley's too much of a main eventer.
Wouldn't that be crazy? I'm just saying that, but like, everyone.
That's why it's
like,
tough to
that
put
Bobby
Swerve
Lashley pop. I don't know. I get it, but I don't get it why everyone's in love with Bobby Lashley.
Well, thank you for segueing. Does Bobby Lashley go to AEW now? That's
the rumor, babe. That it's the two of them are supposed to go with MVP, and then if you add Swerve to that group, I think that'd be a crazy dominant group. But then, quote unquote, who's a leader? And I don't want that to like they're friends for 2 months, and then it's Lashley versus Swerve. Right.
Like I think it needs to be like you could make a really, really dominant group with MVP, Lashley, Swerve. I just don't know who.
Then do you give him like
maybe
party?
I was
private party? Do you give him top flight? And I'm not just saying all the, but you know, something. I'm not anything that I say is not gonna be right. But you know, give him that younger talent.
I mean, private party has been getting their ass kicked the last.
And I'm kind of sad that they're now putting like top flight in like aviator pilot pants. But I think like. Those two are so good. Like they're children. Like
so you like either Top Flight or Private Party and Hurt Syndicate with.
Or then give him like if you want a female in there. Like
or what's his name? Like AR Fox was around for a little bit.
I would, and if you're gonna give them like a female, I would love them to either do Red Velvet. Oh, I'm gonna say it wrong because you always say her name wrong. Queen Aminata.
That'd be kind of funny if actually she like comes out and like low blows Prince Nana. It's like the queen.
She'd be like,
the queen killed the prince.
Oh, that'd be so great for Swerve. But like, you don't need a prince, you need a queen. And then she joins them. Oh my God, Tony, sign us.
There you go. Who joins the Queen Aminata?
Yeah.
I'm saying it like that.
Oh, you actually said it right because you usually say something else. Any hoosers. I don't know. I think it'd be good.
Yeah, I'm excited. I think this has got a lot of potential to grow legs.
I'm trying to think. Like you have Nana and you have Don Callis. Is there any other like? Again, like Alex Abrahantes is terrible, and my face is so red and close to the screen. Is there? I feel like maybe and like Jake the Snake is not around with yeah. I almost said
Lance Archer.
Yeah, I almost said Lance Storm. I'm like, that's not his name. Like, what kind of managers are kind of around? Maybe this is something different. Like, you have Nana, but Nana doesn't do anything. He just dances. Like, Swerve does the talking, which makes sense. But to a manager, to be that advocate, to maybe get him matches, maybe interfere in matches, I think, and something different. Because I don't think, like, obviously, Don Callis and the Screwdriver, I know we're not necessarily talking about that, but
he needs a heel manager, and if that's good, like if Swerve's gonna come back as like a changed man from this injury or whatever.
Yeah, I also said that to you. Does he come back a face though, or should he come back heel because of what happened?
I don't know. It'd be an interesting.
You burnt down my house. You put needles in my face. You stapled me. Cinder blocks. You can't come back and be like the plucky baby face.
Yeah, no, you should be. I don't know. Let's know in the chat. Like, where do you want Swerve to come back? How do you want him to come back? Do you want him to be in the Hurt Syndicate?
But I also really love that song. And if he was the MVP in this new faction, I do like the song though. I get happy a manager.
Absence makes the heart grow fonder. You can get to it.
Play it in my brain.
Yeah, I mean, I swear, why not drive? Just sing it in your head.
But not while I'm driving, kids.
Exactly. Never while you're driving. So, any last words on Dynamite before we move into, as we're less than an hour out of SmackDown?
No, let's get to SmackDown.
All right, let's get to it. Ladies and gents, SmackDown is in on Eastern time, on everyone's time, I guess. 50, math is hard, 54 minutes. I think that's right.
No.
56. 104.
No.
Yeah, 56.
Because it's almost 7:15 and 7:15.
Oh wait, no, I'm looking at the wrong mark. Anyway, yes, sorry, not 56. 46.
Are you looking
49. 49 minutes. 49 minutes out. Sorry. Get that right next time. But I digress. Math is hard. This is why we don't do math for a living. We do other things for a living, and we do this podcast for fun because we love wrestling. If you love wrestling, hit the like. And also feel free to chime in. We're talking about everything here. So, we get to SmackDown. And as always, we usually love to start with the ladies.
Ladies.
So, tonight on SmackDown, we're going to see a number one contendership match for the SmackDown Women's title, Queen Nia's title. And let's take you through how we got there, because friendships are going to be tested on both sides, I think, tonight and moving forward. And I just want to know, is it too late to say sorry?
You know I try, but I don't do too well with apologies. I hope I don't run out of time, can someone call a referee? Cause I just need one more shot at forgiveness. I know you know that I made those mistakes maybe once or twice. And by once or twice, I mean maybe a couple of 100 times. So let me redeem all myself tonight. Cause I just need one more shot at second chances. Is it too late now to say sorry? Cause I'm missing more than just your body. Is it too late now to say sorry? Yeah, I know that I let you down. Is it too late to say I'm sorry now?
Is it too late to say I'm sorry?
I do actually like that version of it, but I don't think I love this match. I didn't realize after we got off last week off air, I didn't realize this was a tornado tag, and maybe I missed that in translation. But I don't like that we're gonna do, again, like the picture you're showing, we're gonna do tandem tag team offense and then be shocked when we pull each other off the pin. It's like, one of you, if you lose, you're leaving. Like, you gotta fight. I don't necessarily love that part. And then it was like, oh, I can't believe you did that. And then was it Naomi pushed Bailey out the way because Nia was coming? And
yeah.
It's like, you're gonna get thrown off SmackDown. Like, maybe friendships, like, put them, like, I love you, but
it's
I'm
business.
fight. Exactly. I love you, but Mama, like, you're messing with my paychecks. You don't mess with Mama's money. Like, I'm going to have to fight you. And then it's just like, that all schmoz happened. And then they hit the 1D. And then Corey Graves was like, is it a what? I was like, this is not the first time they hit that move.
And
like,
it was sloppy. It was very sloppy, though.
I know. It wasn't. They've done a better one.
Yeah.
I just don't know if, like, because they were hitting it on her, this wasn't right. And then, again, they do this double roll-up pin. And clearly Naomi's underneath the ropes. It was, a little sloppy slap. But again, I just think how she landed and rolled, and then, like, Naomi didn't really have a choice because she did that, like, when the kind of flip. It's not a crucifix, whatever, the bridge into the bridge pin.
No, it's a crucifix pin. That's what's it's called.
No, because then your arms are like this, like the crucifix hole. Her arms are not like that. Because then when
her arms are down. When you're pinned, you're down.
Liv does a crucifix bomb, the arms are like this, like Jesus. But she did the pin, so they didn't really have a choice for Naomi's legs to be underneath it, and then Jessica Carr kind of went like, like, you can
actually see her face looking at the rope.
I know I have to call this how this is. I don't know, but again, then this leads to them having the match tonight.
So, yes, they do have the match tonight. Sorry to cut you off, as I always do. So there is a miscue in this match.
Oh.
Tiffany Stratton goes for a beautiful, she's so good in the ring, a beautiful swanton. And remember now, there's been hints in the last couple of weeks, like Nia said last week on SmackDown, like, hey, if you take the pin, maybe you should consider leaving. And I think that, again, the seeds have been planted. So this swanton that happens ultimately leads to the pinfall. So are we seeing, and is this the end of the Stratton Nia Jax partnership? Now is this, again, you have two friendships that are being tested in both different ways. Now, like Nia Tiffany, I think it was kind of understood that like eventually this was going to happen. Like, but the Naomi Bailey twist is interesting. So I guess, is this the end for Nia and Tiffany? Because you're starting to see the cracks in the foundation for the partnership that they've had.
Well, I'm gonna, because again, we're booking Nick Oktoberfest and my birthday extravaganza. I'm calling Tiffy's cashing in and getting the belt. I don't know if it's necessarily off Nia or off Bailey that night, but she's walking out with that belt next week.
So you're convinced?
I'm convinced because it's my birthday mania extravaganza, Oktoberfest, turkey trot, or I guess taco fest. We're doing it. Lucha Libre, build your own taco night. I don't know. I think Tiffany's walking out of it.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see. Again, I think two friendships could potentially come to an end here. So the other question is, will Bailey or Naomi turn on each other? Now it's the number one contendership match. So like just kind of like what we saw with KO and Cody shortly, right before SummerSlam or right after SummerSlam. Where it was. Do they turn on each other? Because like I could see a heel Naomi working, maybe even a heel Naomi with like beyond a Jade maybe. Like, hey, like some sort of heavy with her. Like, I could be down for that. Like,
if one of them is turning, it has to be Naomi because Bailey just kind of turned face post Rumble, and like they'd be real quick of turning her heel again.
I do like her as a. I don't know.
I liked her maybe honestly, unfortunately, pandemic era her when she would be like ding dong hello, like that kind of heel Bailey. Maybe not necessarily like I'm coming back and I'm gonna have this women's faction that didn't really go anywhere. I would like her as maybe like more of like a Ms. Schmarmy heel, but again, like she just turned face again. I think was she sort of kind of heel when she was in Team Bad with Tamina and Sasha? Like, I don't think she's always, again, with her big, like, glow. You can't really be heel when you're coming out in, like, a neon rainbow pantsuit. But I don't know. And I don't know. Or maybe just like, can you just have like a heel or face on a face? Be like, hey, we can be friends, and or I guess maybe you can't with the boys, but like we can be friends, but we're also want the same thing. Like, let's just have this match. And again, like Triple H and Shawn Michaels, we said they had the best matches because they were best friends and they just beat the shit out of each other. Like, I love you, but I'm gonna punch you in the face.
Yeah, I'm expecting a lot out of that because again, Naomi's super athletic and Bailey's great in-ring competitor, so. These two should put on a really good show tonight. But again, like I think something could happen where like Bailey wins, Naomi gets upset and beats her up, or something along those lines, or maybe not now, but in the match, it's like it's not Tiffany that necessarily helps Nia win, but maybe Naomi in some weird fashion because she's jealous and how she got screwed over because Bailey or whatever, who's always been at the top, right, and she never really gets. Naomi's not been a champion, so I feel it. Has she?
Yeah, she has. She had the glow in the dark.
Oh yes, that's right. Yeah.
That was an episode on Total Divas that she did the belt and didn't get permission to make it glow, but she was lucky that Vince McMahon liked it.
Well, I mean, then maybe I don't know. She just works better as a heel.
It was early, like 2016, 2017, when like they split and she was on SmackDown.
Fair enough. So, yeah, I'm not sure. But what do you all think? Like, do you think tonight there will be a turn between Naomi or Bailey? Friendships are going to be tested.
Make sure you don't have a friendship bracelet. Drew McIntyre will make you eat it.
Well, if you want to chime in, you can chime in the comments. We're going to open up the phone lines relatively soon. We've been a little behind schedule here trying to get through.
Sorry, I have to work for a living.
I know, unbelievable. You got a lot of nerve getting this JOB. And not working the PLE.
Well, everyone has to like, share, and subscribe this video so I can quit my day job.
Exactly.
And support Nick's podcast habits.
Yeah, my addiction. My podcast addiction. Too funny. So, moving along. So tonight on the card, we're going to actually see Andrade and Carmelo Hayes after LA Knight actually retained his US title last week over Andrade at SmackDown. So I guess first off, my question is, how does Andrade get a title shot mid-rivalry series with Carmelo Hayes?
Because there's nobody else.
But he's not finished. Else. He's not finished with his series.
I don't care. I love LA Knight. I don't care about the Andrade Carmelo feud. I don't care about this. I told you before, I don't care about the mid-card of SmackDown. I don't. Like, with this 7 series, is this going to turn into Andrade and Carmelo being best friends and making a tag team and becoming the Bar 2.0?
Oh, see, I was different because I was going to say, are we headed towards a triple threat match? Because that seems more like it.
It doesn't matter. Like,
also, Andrade is going to the same barber stylist that Seth Rollins is going to, because his hair looks exactly like Seth Rollins.
I know, that's the new
He has no dry or split ends.
Your sister has that hair, because everyone's doing the balayage now. So it's all these people with very dark hair doing this, like, kind of like brown, brassy gold through it.
Well, good for him, I guess. I mean, if you can make that majestic hair look good every week that you're losing, good for you. I
don't care. And it's sorry, because we were so team LA Knight, like, wanted to win Money in the Bank, wanted him to do all these things. Like, so excited for him.
I was just talking about Andrade, not really Knight. But
again, well, same. We're like, again, him in NXT with Selena Vega was great. I love the feud with him and Malachi Black with Aleister Black. Didn't really do much on me. And again, he put on me, you're Spanish. Every Spanish person knows each other. You're all best friends. You do a thing. Like, he didn't really go anywhere. And then he went to NXT or to AEW. And it's like the same thing. You're with all the Spanish people and you're not doing anything. And it's just like, and then he bounced back and now he's back to
he's WWE. Better heel. He's a much better heel.
Agreed. And he came back, he debuted in the Royal Rumble and hasn't done anything since until his feud with Carmelo. And I don't care about either one of them. I want to like all of them. I want to root for everybody. They're not giving it to me. I don't want to see this match 7 times. Honestly, felt that way with Sheamus and Cesaro. I was like, it was cool the first few times. Time 7? Oh, now you have to be a tag team? I'm going to wind up loving the tag team, but like... They're
all going to be a tag team. It's going to be a trios. They're going to introduce the trios title to WWE, and then LA Knight, Carmelo, and Andrade are all going to be...
universe! Reba!
I'm just going to watch the world burn. And watch the trios title.
No.
I don't know. What do you all think? Are you all interested in this, like, best of 7 series? Like, I know they're good in the ring, but like,
But they're not giving me a thing to care about. Again, it's like, I love a good like, I can appreciate good wrestling, but like, sometimes I need a little story in my wrestling, and I don't have it here. I go to a barber, you have great hair, let's wrestle. Oh.
Yeah, it's
nothing.
So, as we head, we'll put a wrap on that because we hate the mid-card. We just don't like it. I
want to like all of the things, and I don't right now.
So as we are, all right, now I'm going to do the math correctly. 35 minutes out of SmackDown. So we're getting in to the main event as what we hope, I think will open. It's been opening. SmackDown, but you can't talk about SmackDown without talking about the Bloodline.
Nope.
And we saw a vignette last Friday, and there's going to be a tag match for Nicktoberfest, Bad Blood, a.k.a. Bad Blood, where Roman Reigns is going to team up with Cody Rhodes to take on Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu. And the question is, can these two coexist? Is there alliance? And in the words of the great Beatles, can they just come together?
He wear no shoe shine, he got toe jam together right now over me.
And we're back, and Roman has given his word to Cody. Nikki, this alliance.
I have so many feelings about this promo package. The sexual tension that they have between each other is palpable. They felt like the beginning they were like flirting with each other. Like it's like, oh well, like this is my field. And if it's my field, then that's my stadium. If it's my stadium, this is my city. And he's like, yeah, well, the other side of this stadium is this other stadium, but it was called this, and now it's this, and now we're gonna be in it. Like the way that they were talking to each other was so like sultry. I was like, are they gonna make out? Like I don't understand. But then so it's just like, well, like I played football in Georgia, and I'm from Georgia, so we're gonna be friends. And then it came to like, and this is what made me think. So again, I feel like there's 3 stages of this promo. It's like the first is like who owns Georgia, and the second one was like I think a little more telling that Roman was saying.
Steve says he can't unsee that now. I don't know what he can't unsee.
Oh, they're them flirting.
Oh, them flirting. Yeah.
It's just the way that they talked. It was just like they're whispering, and they're just like, "Well, I own this city, and
this is my city.
This is my city, and if this is my city, then this is my field. This is my whatever." I digress. But it's very sultry of them talking to each other. So they flirted, and then this time, then the Roman was saying that it's like you're in a lose-lose situation because you're fighting people that have nothing to lose. And he's like, this is the first time in a long time that I have nothing to lose. I don't have the world on my shoulders, on my neck, like it's on yours now. And then he says, they took Jimmy from me. They took my wise man. They took my bloodline. They took my Ulafala. Not once did he say anything about Jey. They took Jimmy. They took the wise man. That was the first 2 things he said. So with Jey, I'm just going to sidetrack 30 seconds this way. With him not mentioning Jey and Jey winning the IC belt, is Jey not involved in this War Games match? Or does he lose the belt? Again, does he lose the belt next week and it's like, oh, look, you can't do it without us. You have to come back with us now? Again, I know we have a whole 2 months to get to Survivor Series, but does he lose the belt quickly before Survivor Series and they're like, you can't do this, you come with us? Or is he not involved?
Or is the other idea that like, and I know everyone's gonna hate this, but like, are the other people filling out the bloodline feud, like maybe it's like KO and Randy who've been in this battle for so long, and that's where the KO turns to Survivor Series.
I don't know. Long times. But basically he's like, like you're fighting people, you're messing with people who have nothing to lose. And then basically like Cody was basically like, well, what did you, he's like, I told you 2 WrestleManias ago, this is what was going to happen. He's like, you're going to be, a tribal chief without a tribe. Like, Cody's like, I saw all this happen. Like, I told you this was going to happen. And then Roman was like, well, why are we here? What do you want? And then Cody was like, I want your word. I want your word that you have my back. And basically Roman's like, you have my word, I'll watch your back. But basically after this is over, I'm coming for that title.
Yeah. And
he's like, he was like, I'm going to forget the phrasing, but basically he was like, I'm coming for back what is mine. And he's like, this is no longer yours, or.
Yeah, it's no longer yours to keep. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I'm going to take back what is mine. And he's like, this is basically no longer yours to take. Because that's what he said. It's like, oh, this is still my show. And Cody's like, no, it hasn't been your show since Mania. And then basically, then Roman was like, you're in my way. You're in my way in life. Because they try to like walk. They try to, again, like Roman shows up with 600,000 SUVs and Cody shows up in a little Mustang. So obviously the working man and the whatever. But basically, they go to walk. You're in my way in life. So do they do the bedfellows,
So
bedfellows coexist to get through this?
Again, that is the question. Then, how do Cody and Roman coexist?
Look at the way they're looking at each other. Girl.
They're gonna bang later. So, how do they coexist? Is it because I get the feeling, right? And we'll talk about it more next week for Bad Blood, aka Nicktoberfest, on how this is going to go down. But God is going to be involved. So there's other elements of this match that are really, really interesting. And I'm just curious to see, if those two come out, Roman destroyed them pretty easily, but does somebody else come out to counter them? How did
I think Randy and KO would come out.
Yeah, and does that open the door for a KO turn? Does that there's so much, and maybe because could Cody KO be Survivor Series, and maybe that's the angle that they're going down. I think I may have mentioned this to you, but I had this whole weird theory that what's the gimmick, right, for every pay-per-view? It's King of the Ring, this and that, Money in the Bank, right? Royal Rumble. Survivor Series, what's the gimmick? Is that you're the survivor. So wouldn't it be cool if you have, we talked about it earlier, briefly, but Tiffany Stratton and maybe a fatal 4-way for the women's world title, and then you have a triple threat with Cody, KO, and Randy Orton for the world title, and then you still have the War Games match, right, which is still a survival element. That whole theme, it keeps with it, right? Bad Blood, we're going towards rivalries, right? Bad Blood rivalries. So it's a similar idea. It'd be interesting to see if that could be an angle, a turn that you could take.
Yeah. I don't know. It's definitely, and again, who can and will take the pin in this match? Again, people are saying that Jacob Fought 2 should pin Cody or pin Roman. That Jacob is probably the only one in the match that shouldn't take the pin.
Oh, yeah, I agree. No, he's the newest. He needs to be built up. So he needs to do that. I would agree. He's going to be the one who's not going to take the pin. But which direction do they go? Do they go with I think they have to win because you have to keep the War Games match in play. So you have to give them some sort of momentum moving forward to win this match. The other element of this whole feud, as we get to it, is you didn't get to hear about it, but how does KO feel about this whole thing? Because he didn't get to talk about it, and where is he going with the Cody Roman alliance? He's unhappy. You could tell he's not happy with everything going on. Traditionally, probably a better heel. He's one of the few people that I think could do both on the roster, that no matter what spot you put them in, it doesn't matter.
He's going to get cheered regardless.
Yeah, so I guess, what do you, how does he feel and where does he go? Do you think this is the spot to turn him? Or
does he he interferes in the match, you think he's going to help Cody and then cost Cody? And then maybe that leads you into those, because again, we have Bad Blood, then you have that Saudi show when we're away, and then you have Survivor Series.
I think it could be one of those situations where he's just I'll fight these guys because I hate these guys. And this has been whatever it was, 4 years of my life. But at the end of the day, we're supposed to be friends, and you chose this other guy who's part of this group, or was part of this group, over me, who's been by your side this whole time. I think that's kind of the angle, so to speak. I don't know. That's the angle I would go with this whole storyline. If you want to build up towards a theme, a PLE theme, that makes the most sense to me.
Yeah, well, that's also what bothers me. So I'm going to backtrack a little bit. The theme is Bad Blood. The 27th anniversary of Hell in a Cell, and the Hell in a Cell match should mean, and I know it's not going to, it's going to be this match, and I'm upset about it. But I'll talk more about that next week.
Yes, as we go in. Next week's probably going to be...
Oh, it's going to be a long one, kids. I think. Strap in.
Yeah, get ready for...
DVR SmackDown.
Nicktoberfest. Next Friday, we're back here previewing not only WWE Bad Blood, some of Nikki's favorites we're gonna interview her. We're gonna quiz her
New
about
kids.
her favorite wrestling stuff.
My wrestling stuff.
Nicktober is coming, where we pay homage. Homage, is that the right term?
Yeah. Fumage. You just want to say fumage.
To the Queen, ladies and gentlemen. The Queen. Only the best for the best.
Oh God.
Yes, queen.
Simply the best. Simply the best.
Oh God.
Only the best for the best.
You're embarrassing us then.
For Nicktober. Yeah. Now let's make it a full screen so she could really get
I
embarrassed.
am so red. I've been sweating like a farm animal down here because our basement's hot.
So if you're new, get ready for Nicktober. Next Friday.
For the new kids, my birthday's Bad Blood, and we've been booking this pay-per-view like it's WrestleMania.
But yeah, it is. You booked it. You willed it into existence.
I willed it into existence, and it's not going to be an event, and I'm very upset about it.
Sorry. I don't know what to tell you.
Poor CM Punk never made eventing a pay-per-view.
Nope, not even yours.
Never mind.
Can't even book it.
I tried.
So, with that being said, we got a little earlier. I know we got a little late, so we're gonna open up the phone lines. And if you were ready, the call-in link is actually I put it in the chat, but it's also in the description. So if you want to chime in, feel free to chime in.
Huh.
I'll open up the phone lines. 3, 2. All right. Let's get him in here. Phone lines are open, and we know who this is because he always changes his name every time. And I don't do videos back to back, but we're gonna do videos back to back because he gets his own intro.
If you're regular, maybe you can too.
So say his name, and he appears, but you have to say
Steven!
"Ba-ba-ba-da-bo."
I'm a scat man. I'm a scat
Steven!
Oh God. Steven!
Good evening.
What are you drinking? What are you thinking, sir?
I'm thinking, I don't think that was the Beatles before.
It may have been. Listen, I woke up. Ringo? Is Ringo the one? John? All of them. To make sure that they played that song.
What?
Yes, including John, the dead one. Yeah.
Exactly. That's why I woke them all up.
Were you thinking Paul McCartney but said John?
Yeah, whichever ones. But point is, you told me about the Cranberry singer that I got her to sing the Ed song, so I did that too. Just magic.
I was wondering about
magic.
that. Yeah.
The show is just pure magic every week. Anyway, Steve, regardless.
Yes.
What's going on?
I don't know. That was a pretty sweet car before.
The Dom car?
Yeah, I mean, it's not my personal style, but that was pretty nice.
That's your style.
It is.
Steve. Come on.
Yeah, you would love
You can
that.
drive that.
Nah, I like it though. I wouldn't want to make it. I wouldn't want to make it bounce, but.
I always wondered about and maybe someone who knows cars can comment on this, but I feel like you can only do that shock thing, like the hydraulics thing, so much, right? Like, unless you have like, I guess you have to have like reinforced like crazy springs and stuff, but like to me it seems excessive. Like it's so much, and it seems like it would just destroy the car. Like it's kind of like a cool gimmick, but it seems like it would destroy the car. And like even as he's doing it, you could tell like on Raw as Dom's doing it, he has no idea what the hell he's doing. And I don't know if that was like part of the gimmick, like, hey, do it, like make sure you sound like you look like an idiot doing this, or he just legitimately has no idea, but it looked good.
I think it was just like, let's see how high we can get this go.
Yeah, probably Eddie was probably the same way.
Yeah, that is one thing that popped in my mind is how in what other ways are they really going to lean into the Eddie similarities? I mean, he's already got the look. Here's the car. He's in a kind of similar storyline. I mean, are we going to see Vicky now?
Honestly, I'm not. They're going to go full-fledged into it. Like, I'm waiting for like all the old school, and I really liked this. The old school like Eddie Guerrero tights. Like he had like some really cool designs on his tights back in the day.
He did, yeah.
And like I could see, I totally see Dom doing, like, he's playing it full-fledged. Like he's going all into the, like, he's the next, for lack of a better, like Eddie Guerrero. So I 100% see it. Vicky will. And it's funny because we talked about this like a couple weeks back. He has the same heat that Vicky gets.
Yes, he does. Yeah.
Like she couldn't speak at all, and it was just all she had to say is "excuse me," and like everyone would boo her out of the building, and that's like how. Remember, like Dolph Ziggler.
It was the thing we all boo.
Yeah, like Dolph Ziggler became, like, even though he was great, but like they put Dolph with her because they're like, he's gonna get nuclear heat because she's like, everyone hates her.
Yeah, just to be able to draw instant heat like that, that's a special quality.
Hmm.
And when they finally do turn him at some point, I mean, who knows when? There's certainly no signs of it, but I'm sure down the line they're going to do that. Then he's going to be like super over.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if he could be like. I just get the feeling that he's so good as a heel that everyone like treats him like such a POS that I don't think, even if he turned like face, I don't think that would work for him. Like I don't think I could cheer him as much. Like if he, I don't even know what he would do that would like make me like kick someone in the nuts, like that you hate. That's like a big heel. Like they'll be like, oh my God, I love Dom now. Like I don't think that would ever turn me to like liking him.
I don't know. I mean, they've done it with Roman.
He'd have to save his dad from like a beatdown and like reunite with Ray for him to turn face, I think.
Yeah, maybe that's a better. Yeah, it's really tough. Yeah, I guess like a father-son moment would probably be.
Yeah, and then because you can't put him back with Rhea because you shouldn't go back to the man that hurt you, honey. Don't do it. But like him being back with his dad and reuniting with that, maybe joining the LWO and that being a thing, like that, I think that'd be the only. No, I wouldn't say the only way, but like I think the more obvious way of turning him face.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Steve, what else you got for us?
I've seen 2 episodes of the McMahon documentary.
Oh gosh.
Oh.
Don't spoil it.
No, just get your feelings, Steve.
I know your feelings, but don't spoil it.
Yes, no spoilers. Yeah. Pretty interesting so far. I don't think I knew this, but it's produced by Bill Simmons, who was initially responsible for the 30 for 30 series on ESPN, and it's done in a lot of that same style, and it's pretty interesting. I mean, if anything, even through just the first 2 chapters, it goes to show, it's another example of showing that people really are, really have many facets to them. They're really very complicated. There's one reveal. I forget which of the 2 episodes it was, but that when I heard that, and I don't think I had heard that about him before, that it made me go, oh, that kind of explains everything that came after. Doesn't excuse it, but it certainly explains it.
I feel like I have a feeling I might know
Was
about
is it like his daddy issue?
Yeah. Is it like
That's one way of putting it.
Yeah. Because I feel like that's kind of which
I know. Like I would literally sit and watch 6 hours of it by myself, but Nick's not a binge watcher, so I have to watch it on Nick time.
Exactly.
Like I would have watched it the whole first. Like I would have not watched AEW and would have watched all 6 episodes that night.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't because I have to watch it with Nick, and Nick doesn't binge.
Exactly.
But I'm excited. I'm excited is not the right word, but and to your point that Bill what's his faces did it, and their Ric Flair 30 for 30 I think is one of the best that they've done. Like that is like showing how, because the one question was like who's like between Ric Flair and Richard Fliehr, like, and he's like Richard Fleer's dad, like I'm Ric Flair.
Yeah, exactly. A guy who totally got lost in his own gimmick for the rest of his life.
Yeah, seriously.
And now he's single again.
Yeah,
Who, Ric Flair?
Yeah, him and what's her Brooke? Something with a B.
I didn't even know he was married.
Yeah.
He's always married.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
I believe he's
always unfaithfully married.
She's the 4th.
What's
What's he?
I think he's well past 4 now.
That's a good question.
Because I think there was a joke that Charlotte was trying to not only beat his title reign, but also beat his marriage reign. And Andrade is number 3. So I thought
and she's still with Andrade though, right? Like they were supposed.
Yeah, she married her high school dude, and then she was married to Bram. Apparently, Bram beat the shit out of her, which don't do that, kids. And then now she's with Andrade.
Yeah,
I could be wrong. But they also asked, it was like, how many women did you sleep with? And he just like laughed.
Everybody.
And then, like, I think the interview was like in the hundreds, and he laughed. I was like, oh god.
Yeah.
Space Mountain, baby.
Yeah, longest ride. Oldest ride, longest line. That's what he said.
Yes.
Oldest ride, longest line.
You have that shirt.
I know. Yeah, I don't understand.
I gave it to you.
But it's pretty good.
That's the appeal of Space Mountain for you.
Well, honestly, and as you mentioned, Ric Flair, like, go back if you're new to this channel, go back and check out our interview with Tony Richardson. He talks very eloquently about Ric Flair and his influence on the NFL. And he said basically there's no Deion Sanders without Ric Flair. Ric Flair made it cool to talk about yourself and boast. So pretty neat. Anyway, Steve, before we let you go, what's your last shot here?
Who's planning to go to SummerSlam at MetLife next year?
You can go with Nick. I'm staying home.
Wow.
You can come over and Nick can go.
2 nights.
I have no desire.
We don't have to go 2 nights. You can just go to the 1 night. Come
on. It's outdoors in New Jersey in August. Come on.
I'm too pale for that nonsense. We were at MetLife for Nick's birthday and I got sunburned.
Yeah. Hey, listen, no pain, no gain.
I'm too pale for this nonsense. So Steven, come over.
Nikki is just not hold on.
Oh god, what's wrong?
Let's get this out here.
I'm sorry you married a very pale person that doesn't do well in the sun.
Settle down, powder.
Might as well be.
Remember that movie? Yeah, that's a good one.
Good
90s reference. Powder.
I'd be more worried about the humidity.
Yeah, seriously.
Well, we can sit in my air conditioning that just got fixed.
Fair enough.
I have one more question for Steven.
Yes.
Are you excited about my Lucha Libre taco party?
Yes, I'll bring the Mylanta.
I know, I saw your thing and I was like, Stan!
Unbelievable.
I am excited. I don't have any masks or anything though, but you know.
We got one. A Danhausen mask.
Multiple.
I'm really excited about this.
I don't doubt that you do.
Yeah, I didn't buy it.
But,
So for the record, I didn't buy
you know, what goes on after hours is your business.
it. Listen.
Did I do
hopefully
it? Did I do it? Did I get it this time?
No, I wasn't drinking, but you did make me laugh.
Oh,
Missed it.
Oh, so
that
close.
was close. That was a close one. All right.
Almost.
Steven,
Well, Steve, you can't. You know, they can't all be winners, but they're close. They're close.
No. Keep trying.
Fair enough. Well, Steve, cheers. Pleasure. as
Adios,
always.
muchachos.
We will see you next week.
Yep.
Sir, are cut off.
Steven!
This guy. His goal is to just make you.
I know, but there's so many times in this podcast that I do.
Yeah.
This is actually the rare one that you made me laugh and I wasn't.
This is a very serious show today.
So this is
Super duper serious. So the only way to end a super serious show is with a super serious person. So we're going to end it very seriously. And we're very proud that we got through another episode without anyone getting hurt.
Thought we had a spectacular event tonight. Very excited that so far everybody seems to have come out unscathed, you know, banged up, bumps and bruises, but nobody seriously injured, which I always hold my breath on these events. You want to see people have the best outing that they can possibly have and make memories, but do it safely. And we were able to do that tonight.
We were able to do it again tonight. The streak continues. You know those signs where they say like,
oh my God, sweetheart, I was about to say that we need a sign like on the other side of the bar that's like 0 or like 5 days without incident. There'd be like 6 podcasts without.
yes, I will.
injury.
This will be added into the new. I'll just have to update. I'm gonna have to update the Triple H video every time. It's like 7 shows without
7
incident.
shows without injury. Who knows? Because Nick likes to point out how clumsy I am.
Well, as the show goes on and it grows, it probably will get more and more dangerous.
We need more Steven spit takes.
You know, they called Ken Shamrock the world's most dangerous man. I call Nikki the world's most dangerous woman to herself. So
I feel like next week is gonna be like a roast of me because it's my birthday.
the drops that could come.
Oh God! Oh, it's gonna be so many videos. There's so many things of me.
It could
saying,
be an
like,
insane amount
Are
of.
you gonna like talk about like Nikki can't talk?
And I'm taking off
Nikki
Thursday.
can't hear.
I'm taking off Thursday, and most
How
of
are you
Thursday
taking
could
off
be
my
devoted.
birthday and I can't.
Most of Thursday is gonna be devoted to just drops for the show, just to absolutely put you on the spot and embarrass you. So it's gonna be a really, really fun.
I don't need you to embarrass me. I embarrass myself.
So if all of you, we hope all of you will join us
Oh my Lord! Get out of here.
next week for Nicktoberfest. This is a really exciting time where only the best
No, not again.
for the best. No, I'm not gonna do it.
All right, let's
But-
get out of here. I'm choking to death.
As my wife's dying, hopefully she'll be back for next week's show.
Cliffhanger!
But make sure you hit the like, hit the subscribe. Come back next Friday, October 4th. It's Nicktober Fest. Simply
Oh my
the
God,
best.
It's like Jeremy Piven saying rest.
So, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. You are actually now 5 minutes out of SmackDown. So, enjoy. Get yourself some snacks. Get yourself a drink.
Take your dog out.
Until next time, you do not have to go home.
But you cannot stay here and get out. Goodbye.